In 2013, Chinese President Xi Jinping unveiled the Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, a plan to reshape global trade and connectivity on an unprecedented scale. This ambitious vision was introduced as a way to foster economic cooperation and build bridges between nations, both literally and figuratively. The BRI is a sweeping development strategy, investing in infrastructure like railways, ports, and pipelines across Asia, Europe, Africa, and beyond. These projects are designed to improve transportation, energy, and communication links, making it easier for people and goods to move across borders. Its ambition is to revive the ancient Silk Road for the 21st century, creating new trade corridors and economic links that echo the historic routes once traveled by merchants and explorers. The BRI aims to connect distant regions, fostering cultural exchange and mutual understanding. Over 140 countries have joined, making it a truly global project. From Southeast Asia to Eastern Europe, from Africa to Latin America, nations are signing on to participate in this vast network of cooperation. China frames the BRI as a new era of inclusive globalization, promising development for regions overlooked by traditional lenders. The initiative is often seen as a way to bring new opportunities to countries that have struggled to attract investment. The core idea, better connectivity drives prosperity, suggests that when goods, capital, and ideas move freely, economies grow. Improved infrastructure can spark innovation, create jobs, and lift communities out of poverty. China's investments range from high-speed rail to deep-water ports and digital infrastructure, aiming to unlock economic potential worldwide. The BRI also supports the development of smart cities and advanced logistics networks. For many developing nations, the BRI offers access to capital and expertise, helping close infrastructure gaps and connect to global markets. These partnerships can accelerate growth and provide new pathways for trade and development. By modernizing transport networks and linking landlocked countries to the sea, the BRI aims to create new economic lifelines. Improved access to ports and markets can transform entire regions, making them more competitive in the global economy. It's a bold plan to place China at the center of a new interconnected world order. The BRI is not just about infrastructure, it's about shaping the future of global commerce and diplomacy. The BRI is rewriting the rules of global development, offering a different path to prosperity for its partners, and challenging traditional models of international cooperation. The Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, is China's ambitious plan to reshape global trade and infrastructure. At its core, the BRI has two main components, often referred to as its two arms. The first is the Silk Road Economic Belt, which revives the ancient overland trade routes that once connected China to the heart of Eurasia. The second is the 21st century Maritime Silk Road, a vast network of sea routes linking Asia with Africa and Europe. The Silk Road Economic Belt is a land-based network, comprising highways, railways, and pipelines, that stretches from China through Central Asia, the Middle East, Russia, and all the way to Europe. It's about building new infrastructure and revitalizing old trade corridors. Key corridors run through countries like Kazakhstan, Mongolia, and Russia, and extend south to Pakistan, opening up new markets, boosting regional connectivity, and reducing China's reliance on traditional sea routes. The Maritime Silk Road, meanwhile, is the sea-based arm. It focuses on developing and upgrading ports from China's coast through Southeast Asia, across the Indian Ocean, and into Africa and Europe, creating a chain of maritime hubs. China invests heavily in strategic ports like Piraeus in Greece, turning them into gateways for Chinese goods entering Europe. And in South Asia, Gwadar in Pakistan is being transformed into a major deep-sea port, strengthening China's access to the Arabian Sea and beyond, and creating a global logistics network. These routes are designed to secure China's trade and resource flows, while also expanding its influence over some of the world's most critical maritime lanes and choke points. Together, these two arms form the backbone of China's vision for a seamlessly connected global economy, linking continents and fostering new economic partnerships. The BRI's reach is as much about strategy and geopolitics as it is about building infrastructure, shaping the future of international trade and cooperation. The BRI is driven by more than economics. It's about security, influence, and domestic stability. China needs secure access to energy and raw materials, so the BRI builds alternative routes that bypass vulnerable sea lanes. It also creates new markets for Chinese goods and absorbs industrial overcapacity by exporting construction expertise abroad. The BRI is a tool for expanding China's geopolitical influence, forging economic and political ties with dozens of countries. By financing infrastructure, China positions itself as an indispensable partner, challenging Western dominance. Domestically, the BRI supports President Xi's legacy and helps develop China's western regions, integrating them with neighboring economies. Exporting capital and labor also helps manage economic pressures at home. The BRI is as much about securing China's future as it is about shaping the world. It's a strategic play on multiple fronts. For many developing countries, the BRI is a chance to leap forward. It brings modern infrastructure, roads, railways, ports, where little existed, improving connectivity and slashing transport costs. New railways can connect landlocked nations to seaports, opening access to global markets and boosting trade. Modernized ports increase cargo capacity, making businesses more competitive and attracting investment. Construction projects create jobs, and industrial zones along BRI corridors can foster long-term employment. The BRI also encourages regional cooperation, building cross-border networks that reduce tensions and promote stability. As economies become more interdependent, there's greater incentive for peaceful collaboration. The BRI isn't just about infrastructure, it's about building bridges between nations. For many, it's a path to a more dynamic and prosperous future. The promise is real, but so are the challenges. The BRI's impact is most visible in Asia and Africa, where flagship projects are transforming economies and reshaping the future of entire regions. Across these continents, new roads, railways, ports, and power plants are not just changing landscapes, they're opening up opportunities for millions of people and businesses. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, including the strategic water port, gives China direct access to the Arabian Sea and modernizes Pakistan's infrastructure. This corridor is a lifeline for trade, creating jobs, boosting local economies, and connecting remote regions to global markets. In Southeast Asia, the China-Laos Railway has turned landlocked Laos into a regional hub, cutting travel times dramatically and boosting exports. The railway is also encouraging tourism and making it easier for people and goods to move across borders. Similar projects in Thailand and Malaysia are knitting the region together, creating a web of connectivity that supports economic integration and regional cooperation. In Africa, the standard gauge railway in Kenya links Mombasa to Nairobi, slashing cargo transit times and benefiting neighboring countries. This modern railway is a game changer for trade, making it faster and more efficient to move goods across East Africa. Chinese investment in African power plants like Ethiopia's Grand Renaissance Dam and Uganda's hydropower projects is helping address chronic energy shortages. Reliable electricity is crucial for development, and these projects are bringing power to communities that have long been underserved. These projects power industries, light homes, and drive development, enabling new businesses to thrive and improving quality of life for countless families. The BRI is reshaping entire regions, but its influence goes beyond infrastructure. It's fostering new partnerships, encouraging investment, and inspiring hope for a more connected future. It's changing how countries connect, trade, and grow, laying the foundation for prosperity and cooperation across continents. The BRI's promise comes with real risks and criticisms. Debt sustainability is a major concern. Many projects are funded by large Chinese loans, raising fears of debt traps and loss of sovereignty. Environmental and social impacts are significant, with projects sometimes causing deforestation, pollution, and displacement of communities. Reports of poor labor practices and limited use of local workers have sparked controversy. Lack of transparency in BRI deals fuels corruption and undermines public trust. Critics argue that many projects primarily serve China's interests, with Chinese firms and financing dominating. This has led to accusations of neo-colonialism and dependency. The BRI's challenges are as global as its ambitions. Addressing them is crucial for its long-term success. For BRI participants, the rewards come with serious risks. Heavy reliance on China for debt and infrastructure can compromise national autonomy and foreign policy. Lack of transparency in agreements can lock countries into costly, unfavorable deals, fueling public backlash. Some projects fail to deliver promised benefits, becoming financial burdens that divert resources from essential services. BRI investments can also stoke regional tensions, drawing countries into great power rivalries. The BRI is a double-edged sword. Opportunity and peril are closely linked. Careful negotiation and oversight are essential. The BRI is redrawing global trade routes and shifting economic power toward China. New overland and maritime corridors bypass traditional choke points, reducing reliance on US-led sea lanes. China's lending through institutions like the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank challenges Western financial dominance. For developing nations, the BRI offers alternatives to Western funding, but also weakens the old order. China is building a network of economically tied partners, gaining diplomatic leverage and promoting its own standards. Competing initiatives from the US, EU, and Japan have sparked a new era of infrastructure rivalry. The BRI is a catalyst for global competition and cooperation. Its impact on the world order is just beginning. The BRI is a complex force, engine of development, source of risk, and tool of influence. It has built vital infrastructure and created opportunities, but also raised concerns about debt, environment, and sovereignty. The BRI is evolving. China now emphasizes smaller, greener, and more sustainable projects. There's a shift from quantity to quality, with a focus on digital and green development. For China, the challenge is balancing ambition with financial and international credibility. For partners, it's about maximizing benefits while guarding against dependency and debt. The BRI's future depends on transparency, good governance, and genuine collaboration. The story of the BRI is still unfolding, with its ultimate impact yet to be determined. As the world watches, the BRI will shape global development for years to come.